Legend of Total War here, and today we've got a saving a disaster situation playing as the Tomb Kings, where we'll be going up against Thorik Ironbrow, where he is bringing a hell of a lot of melee infantry that are high tier, heavily armored, high morale, very dangerous units for the Tomb Kings to deal with. And his army is a cobbled together, quote-unquote, balanced army that, in my opinion, doesn't stand a chance in a standard sort of a fight. So let's read out the email firstly, get some context, and then we'll find a solution to this. It says, "Hi Legend, I've always wanted to play the Tomb Kings, they just look cool as hell, but after spending more time with them, I've found the gameplay to be a bit dry. I've made decent progress, but having to overwhelm the enemies with endless waves of low tier units gets boring fast. I've built what I think are solid armies, not full doom stacks, but balanced forces that should hold their own. Yet every time the dwarves, especially Thorik, absolutely crush me, unless I overwhelm them with numbers. By the end of the turn, he's attacking my city again, and no matter what strategy I try, I just can't seem to deal with that bearded menace. All I really know is that I need to snipe those trollhammer torpedoes with my Shabdi great bows and avoid Thorik himself as much as possible. My friend and I have been racking our heads trying to come up with a plan, but no luck so far. You can use any resources or tools you want, I just need a solid plan before Thorik wrecks me again." Okay, so just a couple of things about the email here. Gives me a bit of an indication of where you might be struggling a little bit. There is nothing wrong with the army that you've built, but it might help if you don't underestimate the danger that you're in. If you don't underestimate the situation and instead recognize that you're in a serious threat, you might do a little bit better in these scenarios going forward. See, what I noticed here is that you said balanced forces that should hold their own. When I looked at this, the first thing I thought was, there's no way that this should hold their own, because you have to understand how the game does work as opposed to how the game should work. You've got units that stand absolutely no chance at all of doing anything to this army. So all of these melee infantry are only ever going to eat shit against the dwarves here, which means bringing them to the battle is a mistake. Now, obviously, playing as the Tomb Kings, there's a limit to how many certain units that you can recruit, and so you overcome that with numbers. So you've already sort of recognized that the dwarves, you're going to have to use like 2 armies to fight just one of them, unless, of course, you use some really difficult tactics to pull off, which is what we have to do in this battle here. Because you've brought an army that, in a fair fight situation, will just lose. So we then need to not fight fairly, basically. Alright, so in these sort of situations, we need to recognize what our weaknesses are, what their weaknesses are, what our strengths are, and what their strengths are. So their strengths are brute force, right? Head-on attack with these ones here. We need to avoid that. So these units here, this is our weakness. So archers are fine, but they just don't do enough armor-piercing damage, and they're only going to scratch at these guys here. Maybe they could do some damage to the slayers, but they're quick, so they'll get in quite quickly. So these are our weakness in this army. Now, you're sitting inside of the settlement. Did you just capture it? Yep. Which, if they attack us from over here, we will not be able to withdraw units from the battlefield. So instead, let's stand outside the settlement, and that way we'll have the option to withdraw those units from the battlefield. Now, honestly, I think this battle would be easier if I was to disband these units here, and this one for that matter. I actually think I would do a better job if that was the case. However, I'm going to try to keep your army intact, but at the same time, recognize this is the weakness in your army. Everything else is a strength, because you've got speed on these ones here. That's something that they can't deal with. We're too quick for them. This one here is a bit of a problem in this battle here, because it's big and it's anti-large, so it's good only against Thorik. That being said, it's melee attack, if we have a look at it, 62 plus the bonus versus large, so it's nearly 100 against his melee defense. Okay, it will be pretty good against Thorik, because it's also magical attacks, right? Yep, and he's got flame resistance, doesn't he? Yeah, but only 15%. So that flame attack there is actually pretty like not helpful against Thorik at all. That actually reduces our damage output. But anyway, that's what we use to fight Thorik. We have to make sure they're not interrupted by anything else. You're completely correct that we need to get rid of the Iron Drake trollhammer torpedoes, and that the Ushabti great bows may actually be the right call. Now, if we have a look over here, they've got this ability called Snipe. This unit remains hidden while firing. So that is only useful when they're hiding in a forest. However, if they had the ability Stalk, then they could just fire anywhere, and the AI won't be able to really do anything about it because they won't notice it. And so, luckily for you, if you go into the banner section, there's a banner here, Ualap's Order, that gives Stalk to assign units. And since you said I could use any resources I want, I'm going to use your Canopic Jars to get 2 of these, because that's all we can get. This will allow us to use these Ushabti Great Bows. Basically, this is how we gain a bit of bounce power, basically. Now, I can only use 2 banners, because we've got 3 of these units. Now, because they're evenly spread out with damage, I guess you've been auto-resolving, I don't know. What we want to do here is make sure that 2 of our units are particularly strong, and just leave 1 of them a little bit weakened. So these 2 here will get the banner, that one won't. Now, another thing is that you don't have any equipment on these guys here. So you've got a little bit here, just take it off people that are not under any serious threat. We'll take the Talisman of Endurance. I know there's a Talisman of Preservation there, but I want that Battle Healing Cap. We will use the Talisman of Preservation. As for the enchanted item, I'll take the speed one. That will be helpful. Skeleton Chariot's good because of the anti-infantry, but we're lacking in armor piercing. Not really that much I can do about it, though. Okay. Oh, don't forget to actually equip these banners. Kind of need them. We'll also take the Razors Standard, although I don't expect to do much with them either. Okay, so this guy here, Wizard, we've got 35, it would be 40 Winds of Magic. I'm not expecting this one to really do anything, so just don't bother equipping him. As for this one, get Gambler's Armor. You can have Gold Dagger. Actually, go back to this one. I'll put the Glittering Scales on him. You get the Talisman of Preservation, and the enchanted item, you can have a Potion of Healing, I guess. Okay, cool. Alright. What battle difficulty are we on? On maximum? Yeah, that's another thing we've got to keep in mind as well. When you're dealing with the enemy, they're adding in an additional 10% melee attack and melee defense, and extra leadership, and you're suffering a small leadership penalty on that. So since your units are already fairly low leadership, like these guys here are going to fight to the death, you're not even going to be able to kill them in the first place. They're just going to... You lose half your balance of power at the beginning of the battle, when the battle is probably kind of... I reckon that when we go into the battle here, it'll say the balance of power is evenly matched. That's what I think. But it's a fucking lie. That's the thing. The game will lie to you constantly. Because all it does is it like just adds in a bunch of numbers, but doesn't really calculate how those numbers are going to be applied. Oh yeah, just because yeah, you'll have more troops than them, and so it's just like, well, they've got more troops, it'll be like evenly matched, right? But the thing is, one of their hammerers, like if you just had your Tomb Guard go up against their hammerers, their hammerer is going to hammer your units down, and you're going to immediately lose balance of power. Like, there's no way for you to use your infantry to actually overcome those hammerers to gain balance of power over the battle. And that's how you gotta understand the rules of the game, right? The way to win the battle is to inflict more damage that's being inflicted on you. And since you lack damage dealing with these units here, you know, balanced army, you're playing against the rules of the game, but you're not playing into the rules of the game. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so let's put the stalking on here. I'll give these guys the Razors Standard, but we really want to try to avoid using them. We've got the garrison here. It's not going to do very much. So Valiant defeat there. That's what I expected, but I still expect this to be a difficult fight. Because we've seen battles that are decisive defeats in auto-resolve that I've been able to beat easily. Because there's been something that the AI didn't consider. But in this case here, we don't really have a lot of tools at our disposal. While we do have this stalk here, I can't kill the entire army with these two. They don't have enough ammunition. Okay, so we need to hide our weaknesses. So we'll take these guys here, put them in the forest. And as for the flock of dickhead, go stay over there. They'll probably just ignore that one. Let's see. Let's get some control loops going. Should put that control loop 1. So these ones here, don't fire at will. Okay. These ones can be in control group 4. Okay. Alright, so this here, this is our army. This here is dog shit. I guess it's balanced. You've got like 50% of your army is okay, and 50% of your army is not okay. Okay. Whereas all of their units are good. Every single one of them. They didn't bring any bad units. Okay, so what we need to do is get at those trollhammer torpedoes. Absolutely right about that. But, actually, I'm worried that I've got more than 50% of our balance of power hidden, and which means they'll go searching for us. So we'll see how that goes. As for these guys here, I'm just coming from the other side, because I want to try to just lure units. Basically, I don't want them to stay together. I want them to spread out, because that's how we can use our speed to our advantage. If we attack them head on, we can't win. Yeah, look at this, bounce power even. But I'm under no illusion here. We are not a match for them under normal circumstances. We have to out-tactic them in order to win. We can't just be like, control A attack and just be like, well, it says 50-50 chance we'll win. No, it's 0% chance if you do that. Thing is, what we've got at our disposal is tactics, whereas they've got brute force. We have to actually utilize those tactics. So yeah, we'll be able to fire without getting revealed. As long as we don't get in too close. Okay, so these ones over here, just move back a little bit. Okay, good. Getting some shots in on the trollhammer torpedoes early is good. Alright, I want to send them around over this way here. And run out over this way. Get them as far away from our infantry as we possibly can. Utilize our speed to our advantage as much as we possibly can. Gotta be careful, can't get in too close. If they turn around and start shooting at us, we'll die very quickly. Okay, I'll shoot at those hammerers, but try to avoid shooting at the longbeards because that is less value than the trollhammer torpedoes. I can't really get at the trollhammer torpedoes right now, which is why I'm shooting at a different target. We've also got this, which that can be quite good, but it's better if they're pinned down. I don't think we've got a good situation for pinning them down, so I'll just use it now, and it'll do a little bit of damage to them. I think there's someone's fucking car alarm going off at the moment. 5 o'clock in the morning. I always do my videos early in the morning. See how they're remaining hidden, but yeah, we don't have enough ammunition to kill them. It's a fairly good situation here because they're kind of blobbed up. Okay, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. If they get in too close, they will get at us. But they will pull us out of stalk. Now, funnily enough, the flock of dickhead over there, they might actually be able to beat the Iron Drake trollhammer torpedo, maybe, if it's completely isolated. So I don't think they're specifically chasing after our guys here. I think they're just reforming up this way. Alright, I'm going to bring them in here now. Think of if I go send it in over there right now, these will just rush over there and beat us before we get a chance to do anything about it. Okay, let's continue shooting at this one. Keep drawing them in over here. It's good they're not going after our guys over there. Shit, I'm gonna get hit. Like, our guys are faster than them, but they're not that much faster. Okay, this might be a bit of an opportunity. Let's go for it. damage did that do to us? Fair bit. Gotta get rid of this Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedo. Watch out. Try to zigzag as much as possible, make it harder for them to hit us. I'm trying to hide, but I need to get in through here. Okay, good, we got in there. That's it, you keep that one distracted while we get in over here. Good, with this one nice and isolated. Excellent. No, it was never going to be able to beat it. Absolute piece of shit. That was... But at least it pinned it down for us. Right, that hammerer is going to hammer our units there if we're not careful. So if we can thin them out a little bit first, that's great. Alright, we'll see if they take the bait and come over here. They'll probably just send one unit, if anything. Still gonna use this one as well, but... Good. Also, when you shoot in from the flank like this, that tends to do a lot more damage. That's why I'm fine with shooting it. Good. Taking out that Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedo there. That is great. Notice how we're not using our infantry. Because... I don't know, just like imagine this. When you use your infantry in this situation, it's like just picking a piece of dog shit off the ground and just straight up putting it in your mouth. Like, why would you do that? This is pretty good. We're fairly low on ammo. Oh shit, it fucking rallied so bloody quick. Get over here. Come on, gotta move. This one just got detected. They got a bit too close. Get out of there. But yeah, those banners have been pretty useful so far. Good. Finally wiped out that first one. That is good for us. Alright, we got a little bit of magic. I really do mean a little bit. What should we use it on? They got 45% spell resistance across the board. What would be the best thing to cast it on? Probably can't get too close to Thorik. He'll make us explode. I reckon just use it on any of these. Whatever. Oh shit. Okay, keep this one hidden in the forest, but get these ones back out over here. So balance of power hasn't really improved that much for us. Okay, here's something that we can do. If we lure these two units of infantry over here to our infantry, then our infantry can overcome them. See, in this situation here, if we didn't have the banner, they would just turn around and shoot at us right now. This is why it was really good to get it. So using these guys here as bait at the moment to just keep them busy while we snipe the really dangerous units. We're going to have to use these units, no doubt about that. It's just, if we can wear them out a little bit first, that would be very good for us. Very bad for them. Whoops. Hang on. Should finish it off with this. Okay, they are sending some units over for this way. Let's pop this down. It's not going to do much, just pop it down there, I guess. I've got a little bit of ammo, so make it count. Let's go for those thunderers. One more spirit leech will get rid of this trollhammer torpedo. Good. Okay, look, this one here's got sniped, so we can actually shoot from the forest and remain hidden. Not all of these guys are hidden. Send the scorpions back this way because they're hidden. Okay, good. Trollhammer torpedoes dealt with. They did a bit of damage to us. Not a hell of a lot. Not as much as they could have done. So it's a good-ish start. Not perfect. I wonder how many shots are getting... We're not even hidden there. Alright, so the damage that these ones here have done. It's a bit. At least they're okay in melee as well. So really need to try to focus in on those missile units. So we got the most dangerous ones, but these ones here, they are still dangerous. It's funny, those slayers are something that our infantry can actually deal with, because yeah, they can handle stuff that just don't have a lot of armor. From everything else has got shitloads of armor. Wish we had some way to restock these guys' ammo, but we don't. This is good there. What we could do is if we send these monsters over here to deal with them, it's good that they're starting to get a bit tired as well. I could probably get all of our guys to smash in on that. Because yeah, any individual one of our units fights that Iron Break, we'll lose. But if we send 5 units to fight one of their units, we'll win. Don't worry about their heroes. You're not going to be accurate enough to do any serious damage with them. Okay, start. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. Alright, out of ammo, but I'm pretty happy with what they did. Okay, you keep shooting that. We need to get these ones over to that Iron Breaker as quickly as possible. Okay, these guys here, swing around. Don't reveal them just yet, it would be a bad idea. Use the Sharpter here, draw them into the forest, because yeah, now they're just melee units. Still got this one here shooting, and it's getting some good value when they're up against the gunners. That's it, draw them in. Okay, you're going to be useless against them. You've also got these bombs here, but they're not very good either. It might do a... Hang on, let's just see. Good, these ones here have been lured away. Drop that bomb on this Iron Breaker here. Oh yeah, that's going to do nothing more than tickle them. Shame you don't have reanimate upgraded, that would have been really handy. No, just wait until they all get here. Oh, I forgot to do this, didn't I? Let's slow down. Pop that down and then just... Oh crap. Damn it, we got caught by their units. Okay, here we go. That one over there. Come on, guys. You should be way faster than them. Oh, it's the Slayers. Right, well then just get that one off the battlefield. This is why we wanted to make sure we weren't... You guys sort that one out over there. That we weren't... sitting inside the settlement. Because otherwise I wouldn't have this option here. dealing with that. Alright, so overall, the Iron Breakers should have done a lot more damage than this. But by ganging up on them like that, that worked out pretty well for us. Okay, so that unit's going to get wiped out, but I imagine that you just recruited that as an emergency troop. Brought the wizard over here because of the glittering scales. Okay, good. So we broke it, and we get a chance to run it down. It definitely did not do its worth. Okay. Good. And all the while, these guys are... some of them are getting tired, some of them not so much. But our infantry, we are definitely going to have to use them, just not yet. Actually, I might use them soon. Got an idea forming up. Because the Slayers are something that they can actually handle quite easily, if we could draw more of these forces out this way, and then bring... Actually, let's bring these guys up. I'll just reveal like 1 or 2 infantrymen, infantry skeletons, see if the Slayers take the bait and come over here, and then we'll just all run out and kill it as quickly as we can. It's going to rally. It's not going to be of much value for the rest of this battle. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Still got those hammerers there. Alright, these ones, get back over here, keep luring them this way. We got to get past them. If we can get this hammerer out over here, then these guys should be able to deal with that quite easily. I think the Tomb Scorpions are going to be quite good. So yeah, if you want to know a anti-dwarf army, just spam Tomb Scorpions. Like if we had, I don't know, say equal number of Tomb Scorpions as to what they have, and a Lord that has the Reanimate upgraded, we would win this easily. It's also important to note with the Tomb Scorpions that they have very low leadership, and that it's usually a good idea to get them as much experience before going up against something like Thorik Ironbrow. Because yeah, they can still like technically be winning the fight, but lose just because they crumbled. Too close to the rest of these units here. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Slayer is taking the bait. Alright. It's good that they stayed behind here. Good for us. Alright, we've still got a little bit of magic left. Just gonna finish off those gunners. Yeah, see how they're not sending their entire army over here? Because they recognize that this Slayer will be able to beat these two, but they don't realize we've set up a trap for them. Actually, if you guys could just avoid them for as long as possible, just buy us more time. Alright, those quarrelers there are poorly defended. That should be our next target. While we are faster than the enemy, we're not that fast. But still, that's their last missile unit, so once that's gone, then they have to pin us down if they want to do any damage to us. Oh, these ones here are finished. Yeah, it started crumbling straight away. Lord recently... Oh, for fuck's sake. The Garrison Lord. I do not like that they added that into the game. So great, now we're suffering a Lord Dead penalty for the rest of the battle because of some fucking skeleton that I should have withdrawn from the battlefield straight away, but I keep forgetting that's in the game. So yeah, we've got a bit more of a disadvantage now. We've got to be very careful. Because yeah, that's some pretty big debuffs going on there. Okay, just keep drawing them over there. Maybe have a little bit of a rest. Okay, now these two here, and you, because they're fastest, move out this way. You keep drawing them in over here, and you come in over this way as well. Alright, let's go, go, go. Everyone come on out. Surprise! I got the rest of my units here. Now, bounce power has improved slightly. Still not fantastic. But over here, against all this, we should have local superiority here, local inferiority here, which is why we avoid here, but we want to encounter them. Engage with them here. And then, if we can get over there, after we've dealt with all this, that would be good as well. So the Slayers, that is going to be pretty good for our archers to deal with. Because they don't have much armor, but they seem to want to get away from us now. Some Slayers. Good. No, I do not want them fighting Slayers. Back. Make sure they're shooting at the Slayers, not the Crawlers, because the Crawlers have got a fair bit of armor. Don't send them in to go fight the Slayers, that'd be a mistake. Still, if these basic fucking units against a unit that has no armor, and we're using sundered armor against them as well, and you thought that they were going to stand a chance against armored units. Okay, using overwhelming numbers locally to deal with the Slayers, they shouldn't dish out that much damage to us. 3,000. Okay, get these guys back into the forest. I'll wait for another good opportunity. But that was the exact unit that I wanted our infantry to be able to deal with it. It was the only unit that they weren't going to eat shit against. We just had to wait for the right opportunity to present itself. Because they're not fast enough to force it to happen, so you've got to wait for the enemy to make a mistake. Alright, that's good. That unit is out of here.
I am reborn. Come now.
Got a few kills with our king. Tomb King, I mean. Keep going back in the forest. They shouldn't remember where we were. Finish them off again. Good, shattered. Now the real difficulty is that the enemy forces, they've just only got strong troops remaining. And the bounce power, while it is in our favor, if we just attack head on, we will still lose. So what can we do to mitigate that? We need to separate some of their units and just keep jumping on them. Because they've still got a good portion of their army. Also, by doing this, and engaging as best as we possibly can, we should be able to inflict the army losses on them so that we don't have to kill their entire army. Okay, this is a good sign over here. Good, they had a decent amount of time to recover their fatigue. Thorik is kind of vulnerable there, but I think he would just take so long to kill that it's not worth going for him just yet. Might be best to try to take him out when he's been army lost. Because he's also got shitloads of abilities. We need to keep him well away from our infantry. Okay, at the moment, those long beards looking quite tasty. Alright, let's do that. Alright, you can stay in this control group now. Alright, so that's our next target. We gotta get these over here. Okay, now to try to get them to stop chasing after us, bring out all of our infantry, they'll hopefully turn back around, but then we just go back into the forest. Yep. Just wanted to bring them back over here. See how we're stretching them out like this? It's creating weaknesses in their army. See, the strength of the dwarfs, they need to stay close together. Separate a dwarf like this, it's fucked. These ones are going up. Good, so this one, hopefully we can take it out before it's done 1,000 damage to us. Also, when you have a bunch of monsters attacking a single unit of infantry, see how they're spending a lot of time on the ground? Well, when they're on the ground, they can't dish out any damage to you at all. You also can't dish any damage to them. Good. Broke them, and yeah, they only got 653 damage in. So we traded very well against that, and that's how we overcome this with your shit army. Because, like I said, if we attack this head on, there's no way we can win. Because we won't break them as well. The reason why they're breaking is because they're completely isolated. It's one of the most powerful morale penalties you can inflict on the game, and it can even break dwarfs with it. Okay, get some more of those guys out here. It's a good thing we had forest in this battle. So just enough of them that they'll send a small portion back that way. That's it. They're sort of questioning what to do. They're going to send in these two. Good. So just using them as bait. Okay. These ones here. Just move around over this way. We'll semi-ambush them. Draw them in. And then just rush over here because we're faster than them. Use our speed to our advantage. Draw them in. And these guys are not going to be able to do anything to help out these units at all. Okay, don't even bother trying to shoot at them. It's not going to do anything. Best thing we can do is just not use our ammo because it'll preserve bounce of power. If we shot at them and it does no damage, we're just wasting our bounce of power. And that's how we win the battle. By creeping this towards here, eventually the game will just go, okay, you win. Without us having to completely exhaust ourselves. And one thing we've got to watch out for are their powder kegs, so we're going to get into melee with it, so we can't use it. So send the monster to use it first, and then have the infantry charge in. That's it, and we send all of these infantry in, largely to keep inflicting. See that faster, stronger enemies nearby? And it keeps getting bigger. Because it's isolated and more of our units are showing up. Now that penalty will never show up if we had just attacked them, all of our army versus all of their army. It'll never happen. And I think it caps out at 26. Which causes an Iron Breaker at half health to break. And don't forget, our fucking stupid garrison general's dead. Theirs isn't. Okay, We don't need to have the infantry run them down, get them out of here. But that worked out very nicely there, I think. Make sure you finish him off. So this one here is taking a fair bit of damage. I probably should avoid sending him into melee again. I've got to heal with this one. I'll use this on itself. Okay. Once again, lure this army out over here. I'll reveal a couple of units and we'll just rinse and repeat. Shouldn't need to do that much more damage to them in order to inflict the army losses. Okay, this time I'll just see what's going on here. It seems like they're going idle. Or they're just forming up and then they're going to turn around and chase after them. Yep, okay. Good. Now bring our archers out over here. I reckon they'll send 1 or 2 units. Because, like, one of their units is easily worth 2 of our archers. But since they've got no missile units left, and our guys are at least fresh, we should be fine to get them out of that quite quickly and just get them to shoot 1 or 2 volleys in. It's not going to do... Actually, should I even bother? It depends. If they send a shielded unit, don't bother shooting, but if they send a hammerer, we'll shoot at it. Okay, so this hammerer has gone full all over the place. It's okay. Okay. That is actually bizarre that they've done that. They're gonna use this unit to detect all of our fucking infantry here. Because look, a single hammerer from that unit. This is ridiculous what they just did. Detect this. Okay. This is really weird. Send another 2 out over here. Surprised I didn't send anyone over here. Yeah, look at this shit. The fuck is that crap? Is he finally dead? Yeah, so I think we killed 1. That's just 1 hammerer was getting in there. This fucking unit, it is all over the place. Okay, one of our Shabti got caught. Probably got Rune of Slowness. They can sort of double up with it with Thorik and a Runesmith. God, that is bizarre. And I tell you what, if I was playing as the dwarves and I could manually find a way to do that, I would do that all the time because that is pretty powerful. Because notice how guys can't properly target them when they do that. I'm not getting anywhere because they're not taking the bait. I might have to split up our forces here. Alright, so let's take the Tomb Scorpions. Still got a little bit of magic I can cast. Maybe 2 more of these because we've got life leeching. Don't cast it near Thorik, he'll blow up in our face and die. What's going on with this? Okay, cool. Yeah, just have monsters handling this should be fine. Can just bring our infantry in. One Yeah, cool. It didn't do very much damage. Cool. And it's about to break. Good. Got terror routed and then proper routed. You can tell when it's properly routing based on the flag over the banner. Whereas if they're running away and that's not there, it means that they're terror routed. Which is just based on a timer. It's like 10 seconds and they rally. Regardless of how many other units are nearby. Whereas when they're properly routing, they have to get a good distance away from all of your troops before they can rally. Still got some forces out here. Just haven't been taking the bait. Okay, this is good. Yeah, these long beards, that should be very easy for us to deal with. Just keep that rest of that army come over this way. Bounce power's looking good now. If we keep this up, we'll get the army losses inflicted on the enemy. And this one doesn't have any shields, so... Yep, we can do this. God, jump. It's not going to do much damage, but it's better than nothing. Also, because they're exhausted now, they lose a fair bit of their armor. Should just run them off the battlefield, don't waste any more ammo. Okay, good. Do another one over here. Alright, so, of the enemy forces, we have killed 75% of their troops. I reckon if we can get to 80%, it should... It says we've lost half of our troops, but that's not true, because it counts, like... This one here would have been counted as 120 out of this. So it's not necessarily our starting number, it's our maximum starting number, which we didn't bring. Alright, Thorik. We might be able to actually take him out. I mean, it's a bit of a risk to fight him, but if we get him isolated and then charge at him with all of these guys here, we might be able to do something, especially with the with this one. And also he is exhausted. But I've got to get him very far away from the rest of these troops. Do not set him anywhere near the infantry, our infantry, because of these clad wanker cack. Just a bit further, because we need enough time to fight. Okay, here we go. Alright, sending the Sharpty is not a good idea, but just have them close by. We want to be using the Necros Sphinx. And him, I guess, to some extent. I mean, he's not anti-large. But just keep them close to Thorik so that his leadership drops. So hopefully in a one-on-one duel, our Necro Sphinx should be able to win. Okay, bring this one in so that we get that glittering scales in there. Keep these guys just close by. And cycle charge him into Thorik, so that he's eaten some ass. Good, they're taking the bait over here. So they're not coming to assist Thorik. Thorik's turned around to start fighting. Yeah, no, it's all good. That's it. Glittering scales affecting him so that his melee attack is being reduced. Okay, these guys have to fight these Longbeards. But, you can see here, we've actually gotten to a point where Thorik might just break. And he has not done that much damage in this battle either. Come on, a little bit more. And army lost them. Good stuff. That is a fairly early army loss. I mean, 75 minutes, right? It's a premature evacuation. Because they've still got a good portion of their bounce of power remaining. So even though you bring a completely... Like, it's hard to say that it's a shit army when, like, I don't think we're going to get a heroic victory, but we only lost one unit. Which was the flock of Jackoff. Like, who cares about them? Anyway, I'll pause the recording as I run these guys down. Okay, ran down as much as I could. These remaining units are so low in numbers that they're wiped out. Yeah, close victory, fair enough. Because, yeah, the balance of power itself wasn't that bad to begin with. It was just, like, hitting Control A and just microing hard. Nope, it would not work. And again, it all comes down to this. A lot of people will think the game should work a certain way, but it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. So that's all that got away. Overall, I think it's a pretty good result. I really was not putting much effort into trying to keep that one alive. But everything else survives. We could use this to get a lot of regen back. But I think it would be better to go with Endless March so that we can actually catch up to these guys. Because I imagine they're going to try to force march away. It'd be good to finish them off. So yeah, you got the Wurzag Wrecking Ball on its way. I imagine that this was started after the Lizardmen sort of woke up, but it still doesn't stop the Greenskin Wrecking Ball that's coming. Okay, well, that extra campaign movement range is going to help you get it over here quickly. But you can see here he's willing to have peace. And now that your army is still in good shape, I mean, you're missing one unit, but who cares? It's not a good unit anyway. Easily be able to finish that off. And Thorik, if we have a look at him, he has got 6 regions left. If you take Karak Orod, that's where he's recruiting his hammerers from. I mean, it's possible he's actually recruiting it from other settlements since it's only tier 3. I guess that's a big problem as well for everyone that goes up against dwarves. The dwarves get really high tier units by tier 3, whereas previously there was a tier 4 unit. But yeah, you should be able to handle that no problem now. In fact, I imagine that's even an auto-resolve. Right, otherwise your campaign looks fine. But yeah, it's just don't overestimate how weak your situation was. Or don't underestimate the enemy in these sort of situations. Especially something like the dwarves. Dwarves can be very easily underestimated. But anyway, we sorted it out. That's the end of this one here, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys.